So hello everyone. Now we will today solve the problem which is LeetCode's POTD. The problem number is 2570, which is stated as merge two 2D arrays by summing values. Okay, so let's see what the problem is all about. As we can see, it is marked as an easy one. Okay, so let's now first read the problem statement. We are given a 2D integer arrays nums1 and nums2. Okay, so we have been provided with two arrays which is nums1 and nums2. Okay, so in nums1 id and value indicate that the number with the id I has a value equal to val I. Okay, so the arrays are given in a similar fashion. Now let's see what's given more. Each array contains unique IDs. Okay, so the ID in a respective array will be unique and is sorted in ascending order by ID. Okay, so arrays IDs will be unique and it's sorted in a ascending order. Okay, so now we what have to do? Okay, merge two arrays into one array that is sorted in ascending order by ID respecting the following condition. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Like there are two different arrays which are in a fashion of id comma value. What we need to do is we need to merge these two arrays into a single array which is also in the similar fashion. Okay, so now let's see what to do. Only IDs that appear in at least one of the arrays should be included in the resulting array. Okay, each ID should be included only once and its value should be the sum of the values of this ID in the two arrays. If the ID does not exist in one of the arrays, then assume its value in that array to be 0. Okay. So what is given that if an ID is unique, then it should be included in the array. If it's not, then sum the values of the nums1 and nums2. Suppose the ID matches, then we will sum those values. Okay, here we have the example and we have some constraints. Okay, so I have already done this in the explanation part, so I will explain it there. But we can see here that this is a nums1, this is a nums2. 1, here we can see 1 and 1 ID matches, we sum the result which is 6. Then we see 2 and we don't have 2 here. Okay, so the sum is 3 only. Then we have 4 and we have 4, so we submit the values and it's equal to 6. Similarly, if we see here we have 3 and we don't have any corresponding value 3 here, so what do? We just put its value. Similarly, here is also another example. So before solving it, let's see what the constraints are, because constraints are the most important thing of a question. Like you can solve the question in a big of n square and n and log n, so there are multiple approaches according to the constraints. Okay, so the constraints here are small, like okay, this is a value. Okay, just okay, so here we can see that the ID can start from 1, which is less than greater than equal to. Here we will be having our ID which is less than equal to 1000, greater than equal to 1. Okay, so I will be telling two kind of approaches, or approaches I would say, the method. Okay, so let's see what is the approach. Okay, so now here we can see that we have nums1 and nums2. So what do we do? That we have seen in the constraint that it can be like we have seen here, that it can be greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 1000. So what do we do? That we take a vector on array of size 1000, which will look something like this, and we just put the corresponding value to it. Okay, so after putting the nums1, our array will be looking something like this. Okay, so as you can see, 1 is put to the 1th index, 2 is put to the 2th index, and 4 is put to the 4th index. Now after putting the nums1, we can just put now put nums2. If the values are not 0, add, or we can just add, like if we add 0 to 0, it will also be 0. So after putting the values, so you can see 1 plus the value was 2, so if we add it, it becomes 6. Similarly, we can put 3, so 3 plus 0 will be 2. Then you can put the fourth one, which will be 5 plus 1, which will be 6. So after performing all this operation, this will be our answer. Okay, and the other method which we can use the hash map or the STL, in which we can see that the map 1 contains the value. First it will be having 2, then MP of 2 will have 3, 5, and 2. Okay, so if it already present, we just add the values and we can get the similar result. Okay, it's important to know that how many ways we can solve a problem, because yeah, that's a crucial part. Okay, so now let's see the code without the hash map. So this is a code without the hash map. As we can see that I have taken an vector array, vector arr, whose size is 1000 and the initial values are 0. I have made a function to do the putting thing. So here we can see, if we call that function, it is, so our array is basically 0 based index, so I have managed it here, like subtracting -1 from it. Okay, we added the values. Similarly, we did it here. Now what to do? We just have to create our answer. So answer will be a 2D array. So we can say vector. So our size was 1000, so we're treating less than 1000, and we are just managing the index, which we have reduced here. Now we are just trying to manage it back into its original form. We are pushing the values if values are not equal to 0, and we'll be just returning the, okay, so the return part is good, but we can just return the answer from here. So runtime is 3 ms. Time complexity is the same, it's n. Okay, the runtime may differ, but the time complexity will be the same. Now if we use an hash map, so hash map is also doing the same thing. As you can see, we are populating it by using the put function which we have created. Here we don't need to manage because hash map can store the values. Similarly, we have also initialized it here, and we have just iterated the hash map and put the first and the second value and returned our answer. Okay, so that was an easy solution for it. As you can see, the runtime is 1 ms. So actually it doesn't matter which, if you use hash map or the STL, but it's important to know, because in some cases you might not be able to use the hash map, so it's important to know how to solve it without using the hash map. Yeah, so that's all for the solution. Have a nice day ahead.